Hey guys, today's video is going to be kind of a how-to video. We're going to make some wire extensions out of some old cables. If you recall the video a few weeks ago, we stripped down a power supply, took the wires off of it. We're going to use them wires to make some extensions. I have one here that's got 3 serial ATA connectors on it if you need more connections for more drives, or if you simply need a longer cable, if you want to add 1.5 feet or so to your cable for cable management. And we also have a Molex one here that has the 3 standard Molexes as well as the floppy drive Molex. And all we're going to use to connect them are going to be a couple of these pass-throughs. You've probably seen these on your fans, other accessories, some lights and stuff on your computers. You usually come with a pass-through so that you don't have to block one of your Molex connectors when you plug it in. We're just going to basically take the female end off of the Molex so that we can use that to attach to our male end on the power supply for these extensions. So we'll be showing you how to do some soldering and stuff on that, how to patch them together. On the SATA, you'll notice that this has got 5 wires instead of the 4 on the standard Molex. The yellow is your 12 volt, your red is your 5 volt, then you got your 2 grounds, and the orange one is for a 3 volt or 3.3 volt, which they're hoping to make a standard in the future. As of yet, most companies haven't switched over. I don't know of any drives that are using the 3.3 yet, so we're not even going to worry about that orange wire. We're just going to use the standard 4 ones that you would use for your Molex. So I'm going to start stripping some wires down here and getting these pass-throughs ready. Okay, we have our wires cut and stripped. Got our female Molex connector ready to go. What I like to do to keep the wires straight is I trace the wires right up to the first Molex connector and then tape them down, so that way we know everybody's in the right order and won't have any tangled wires when you get done connecting it. We're just cut off some small pieces of shrink wrap. I'm out of the smaller stuff that I would normally use for that, so I'm going to use some bigger pieces, unfortunately, but they'll do the same job. And as far as solder, I always use this. This is a tin lead solder. It's a rosin core solder, basically electronic solder. I bought this at our hardware store, but Radio Shack, any electronic place that sells soldering for electronics will have this type of solder. It's nice because you don't have to use a resin or anything else with it. And I always like to heat up the soldering iron for a good probably 10 minutes before I use it. That way the solder melts quickly and it's ready to apply right away. So we're going to get these ready to solder. Okay, before we solder, we want to make sure we slide our shrink wrap on. More than once I've soldered a wire and then realized I didn't have the shrink wrap on there and had to unsolder it again. But our soldering iron is good and warm. Basically just want to touch it to the solder. You want to get a drip of solder onto the gun. And then basically where your wires are connecting, I just kind of rub the soldering iron onto the wire. And that way the solder will kind of adhere to the wire itself and harden. And so that one's basically done. We're just going to go ahead and solder the other 4 here, and then we'll tidy up that shrink wrap. Alrighty, after you get all your soldering done, wait for the wires to cool a little bit and then fold over each one of these wires. That'll make it a little bit more streamlined, so when you slide the shrink wrap over it, it's going to seal down and not make a big bulge where each of these connectors are. So we're going to go ahead and heat shrink these, and we're just about done with this one. Well, this is what it looks like with the shrink wraps tightened up on it. Like I said, this wasn't the right size shrink wrap, so it's a little bulkier than I'd like, but it's going to do just fine for what we want, and it's more than likely going to be behind a motherboard somewhere, so we're not going to be too picky about it. Just another thing for security I like to do is put a little electrical tape on there to keep them bundled together, and it'll also help to reinforce the solders to make sure that nothing pulls apart if you get yanking on the cord or trying to make it stretch somewhere. So we're going to tape it up and probably also put a zip strip in between here to keep it bundled tight. Well, here's a shot of the finished Molex connection. That's going to give you quite a bit of length if you want to add other drives, or if you just need to add extra fans, give you 3 more Molexes to add additional fans, or whatever you might want to use that for. But basically we're done with that one. We're going to continue most of the same steps on the SATA one, but I will do some different changes at the end. But we're just going to go ahead and strip these and solder them, and basically the same steps we did on the Molex, and then I'll show you what we're going to do different. Okay, up till now everything's been the same as the Molex one. Solder it the same way, use your shrink wrap, tape it up good. The difference on this one is we're going to take some of our painter's tape, or masking tape if you have it, and we're just going to tape off the heads here on the connectors themselves, and we're going to paint this to match the case a little better. I don't know about you, I like things to be kind of color coordinated. I really hate the ugly yellow, red, black combo on these cables, and if it ends up being somewhere where you can see it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. So we're going to put some primer and paint on this. Well, this is a shot of the serial ATA one after it's been painted. We went with a black on it to make it a little more stealthy in the case. That way it should hide well with the other black wires or sheathed wires we have in the case. So here's just the plain old school Molex for a quick easy addition, or you can do custom painting on them and paint it any color you want to match your case, red, blue, what have you. That way it'll blend in better with the background, and it won't stick out quite as much as your reds and yellows and stuff do. But that's it for this video, so thank you for watching. Remember to comment and subscribe if you haven't already.